Macromolecules. Gotta love them.
The four types of macromolecules are carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids, and lipids. Macromolecules are built by joining monomers, which are subunits, and all are organic because they contain carbon and hydrogen.
Macromolecules are polymers consisting of many monomers. To put in perspective, amino acids are monomers or building blocks of protein.
Okay guys, let me introduce you to carbohydrates, of the sugars and starches found in fruits, grains, and vegetables. For instance, fruits such as this banana. And grains such as these fine grains in this little bag right here.
It's cereal.
Exactly. Polymers of carbohydrates are starch, which consists of entirely glucose monomers. Another form of carbohydrates are cellulose, which is a long chain of linked sugar molecules in its purest form, cotton.
And cellulose is also found in plant cell walls.
It's also the basic building block of textiles and paper, and the formula is C6H11O5.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Monomers make up polymers as monosaccharides make up disaccharides. Monosaccharides are the simplest sugars used for fuel, vroom vroom.
So this entire thing is a disaccharide, and this is made up of two monosaccharides. And some monosaccharides are glucose, fructose, and galactose. And the disaccharides are lactose, which is glucose and galactose, sucrose, which is glucose and fructose, and maltose, which is 2-glucose.
There are 20 different amino acids, so the combinations are virtually endless. These proteins are created through dehydration synthesis, forming peptide bonds. Proteins are also the only macromolecules that contain nitrogen.
This is an amino acid. Amino acids consist of 3 groups: the carboxyl group, the R group, and the amino group. The black represents carbon, the red represents oxygen, the white represents hydrogen, and the blue represents nitrogen. This is the carboxyl group, and the carboxyl group is COOH with a double bond. This is the R group, and this differs in every amino acid, and in this case it's alanine, which is CH3, and this is the amino group, which is NH2.
Proteins do most of the work in a cell and act as enzymes. An enzyme acts as a catalyst and speeds up the chemical reaction process. So the man pushing the ball up the hill without the enzyme is harder than with the enzyme because it helps speed up the process. As I mentioned prior in the video, amino acids make up proteins. These are organic molecules including the carboxyl group and the amino group. They differ in properties and structure in the R group.
Okay, so let me introduce you guys to lipids. Lipids are a diverse group of hydrophobic molecules, and I have a demonstration to prove this claim. Here's a cup of water, oil. As you can see, the water is at the bottom while the oil is staying on the top. Hydrophobic.
Hydrophobic.
This is the only large biological molecule that does not consist of polymers. That's a very important fact. The primary function is its storage of energy. The energy is stored in CH bonds, making it more abundant and efficient. Make it more efficient storing energy. There are 2 parts that make up lipids: glycerol, an alcohol that serves as a backbone of the molecule, and 3 fatty acids, which are 3 long chains. And there are 3 types of fats: saturated, unsaturated, and polyunsaturated. And William has a little thing to show you.
This is a lipid, and this is the glycerol, and these are the 3 fatty acids. Nucleic acids are responsible for the storage of genetic information, which makes up the traits and characteristics of each of us, which makes us different, and they're made up of monomers called nucleotides. which are three components: the 5-carbon sugar, which is deoxyribose, a phosphate functional group, and a nitrogenous base, which are adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. The 5-carbon present in DNA is deoxyribose, like I mentioned before, and these nucleotides are linked together by dehydration synthesis. DNA is composed of two strands, double helix. The two strands are held together by hydrogen bonds. Guanine forms H bonds with cytosine, and adenine forms these bonds with thymine. This is important for the replication of DNA, which is RNA, and RNA differs from deoxyribose because it contains a ribose instead of deoxyribose, and RNA is just a single strand.
This is RNA, and this is DNA, which is a double helix. Thymine and adenine are both bonded by hydrogen, as well as guanine and cytosine. They are also bonded by hydrogen.
In RNA, there is no thymine. Thymine is not present. And instead of adenine bonding with thymine, it bonds with uracil.
Quiz time! Are you ready? Okay guys, I have a question for you. Which macromolecule contains nitrogen? A. Lipids. B. Proteins. C. Nucleic acids. Or D. Carbohydrates. Here's another question for you. What makes RNA different from DNA? A. RNA is a double helix. B. RNA contains thymine. C. RNA has ribose. Or D. RNA does not have uracil. Which fat has many double bonds? A. Polyunsaturated. B. Glycerol. C. Saturated. Or D. Peptide. Now guys, we have a rather tricky question. Let's see if you can get it. What makes up maltose? A. Fructose and glucose. B. Glucose and galactose. C. Glucose and glucose. Or D. Fructose and fructose. Okay guys, here are the answers. Number 1 was B, proteins, because they have an amino group. Number 2, the answer was C, RNA has ribose. This is because DNA has deoxyribose. Number 3 was A, polyunsaturated, because it has multiple double bonds. 4 was C, glucose and glucose. Thanks for answering these trivia questions. See you later! You want to eat carbs, you want to eat proteins, you want to eat lipids, learn nucleic acids. Each are macromolecules consisting of subunits that make them up. First is carbohydrates, glycosidic bonds that join together to monomers. They range from linear to highly branched, start cellulose and glycogen. Next is proteins. They have amino acids and form peptide bonds. They act as enzymes and catalysts, and they are formed by dehydration synthesis. Now we have scrumptious lipids. They are very hydrophobic. Primary function is energy storage. There is glycerol and 3 fatty acids. Next we have nucleic acids. They are made up of nucleotides. The 4 different bases that make them tie are adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. You want to eat carbs, you want to eat proteins, you want to eat lipids, learn nucleic acids. Just rewind this song and restart the video. Yep, shout out Mr. Mack, Jared Varn.